Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a passive aggressive, but very disappointed that I'm passive aggressive because I really wanted to be aggressive
Aspiring, but
because,
didn't quite get there.
yeah, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm manipulative, but I'm so manipulative. Um, I wanted to share that, like, there's a bit of confusion in me from from one of your teachings about triggers, and it's maybe something I'm unraveling within me. Um, there's like not lots of it feels like narcissism in my family, and I'm also more empathic. I identify a lot with Sophie's issues of guilt, constant guilt, the guilt that keeps on giving. Also
It
raised
keeps on
Catholic, so
giving.
yeah, so I'm constantly like judging myself about being good and bad, or used to. Um, and sometimes what has happened in the family is punishment by exclusion if you make it clear what you want. And I think especially if you have a lot of chameleons, it's very triggering when you ask clearly. And over the last 15 years, 10, 15 years, I've exposed myself a lot to Dr. Marshall Rosenberg's teachings and some very good teachers that, practice getting clear on your needs. And um, that has helped me a lot. My question is, at times other people provoke you, and sometimes they are just assholes.
Yeah.
So how do I know? Because I don't want to be constantly gaslighting myself like, it's me, it's me, it's me. I need to look at my shadow. It's me. Yes, it's me, but sometimes I need to tell someone, you're talking too much in a meeting. Can you please listen? Or, um, something's happening in the body and I need to speak up for myself. How do I know where it's like, okay, this is something I need to work on, or yeah, I can work on it. But that person's also being a dick.
Okay, do it. Do you want to do you want me to be the bearer of bad news?
Yeah, I mean, I could just say.
No, I want to be the bearer of bad news. Yeah,
You do enjoy that. Okay, go ahead.
it's always about you.
It's always, yeah. So see, that's
Always
where
about
I'm
you.
like,
It's always about you. It can't be
right.
about anybody else. Yes, people can be assholes, but who is putting that label on them?
I think maybe an easy way to
Okay, you be the diplomat
okay,
here.
I'm really definitely
It's
so
why we
so
keep him.
No, just rip the band-aid off. I'm like Phoebe, I can take it.
no so the I think the way that it's easier to tell if this is
Yeah.
something that is a you issue or somebody who legitimately is taking up too much time and talking or
Mm,
whatever the thing is, how how you react to it.
Yeah.
mm.
If in you it comes up as a, oh, he's talking again, he never shuts up, why, that is about you. That
Mm.
if it's clearly like, oh, you know what, he has been talking for a long time, and yeah, I feel like other people aren't getting heard, and maybe even have the, I just like to say, if that's coming from a place of just objective awareness where it's just like taking in facts and yeah, it seems to be, yeah, there's something there that doesn't seem, quite balanced or whatever. That's one thing. If
And
in you,
and it's
yeah,
Cleona's role.
what, to say something, yeah, sure, but even just the recognition of it is
Mm.
something that you can objectively see, but it doesn't trigger any sort of tightness, anger, frustration, irritation in you. If it does, that's an indication that there's something there that is coming out of you that is being seen. Like there's something which is being reflected or pushed on or uh, in some way uh, you're recognizing that element in you and not okay with it.
Mm.
Also because when we judge another person as an asshole,
Mm-hmm.
there might well be, you know, there might be like 10 people that would stand on your side and go like, oh my God, about that person. But that
Mm-hmm.
person still has, wives and kids and mom and people who love them and think they're amazing. And so it is just an opinion. It
Mm-hmm.
is just an opinion. And other people think, I mean, we have the example with Trump, right? That a lot of people think that, you know, he's a raging narcissist, but other people think that he's the savior, which means that there's not one truth to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's an opinion. It's your projection of what the other person is behaving in that moment.
Yeah.
I get it. I think I will stop reacting after I've passed the 10th sweater, which God knows how long that will take, since the first sweater is taking forever.
yeah, I just want to say something as well, where you said that you being, you know, the truth speaker in the family, and everybody are chameleons and they have an issue with it. A chameleon wouldn't have an issue with you being a truth speaker. A passive aggressive bully would have an issue with it, and a bully
Yeah.
would have an issue with it. A chameleon, they're gonna fall in with the wallpaper and trying to be as invisible as possible.
Right.
So it's more if you have passive aggressive bullies that are not asking for their own needs to be met,
Right. Yeah.
then they have an issue with you asking about your needs to be met.
Yeah.
How dare you being so selfish? Because they would feel selfish for them to ask for the needs to be met.
Hmm. Yeah, so the solution I've come up with, so that was really bad news, actually, not just bad news, very, very bad news. The solution I've come up with is to wait till I'm not triggered and clean up my side of the street and then ask, because I think that sometimes it's like the emperor what is that story where the emperor's nude?
Emperor has no
Sometimes you're
clothes.
in a big group and you can catch the feeling and you say something and everybody's relieved, like, oh my God, thank God you said it.
Yeah.
But, you know, if, yeah, so that's also the gift of sometimes being the outlier, is to feel courageous
Yes.
to speak,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you,
There's two things I would like to add.
yeah,
I don't want to support you in any way being a doormat at
mm,
all. If you are in toxic relationships in any way that is chiseling into your feeling of worth and boundaries and everything, get out.
mm,
You know, get away. Find a way to get away. Because there are relationships that are impossible to
mm,
maintain a feeling of healthy boundaries and healthy exchange. Some people are just not there.
mm,
So that's the first thing. And this community and the spiritual community has a tendency to be borderline toxic positive.
mm,
And so I just want to make it very, very clear that if you're in a relationship with people that are toxic and you feel how it's chiseling in with your feeling of self-worth and self-esteem and boundaries and all that, get out.
yeah,
The second thing, when you're in a group and like Todd was talking about, and somebody's taking up more than their part, if you are the group leader, it's your job to say something.
mm,
If you're a participant, it's not.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, and noticing also, as you were saying, that there are times when everybody's kind of waiting for somebody to step up and say something, and it might feel good if you are the savior that comes in and actually says what other people are thinking, but it doesn't. So it it doesn't invalidate certain situations where something really could use a course correction. But
mm,
again, it comes down to how you feel in you. It
Yeah.
doesn't
mm,
matter whether other people also feel that in them, because they have their own shit to work through. It
mm,
doesn't matter whether they are also just noticing it objectively without feeling any
Mm.
anger towards it, and just being like, yeah, thank you for taking care of that. We only are dealing with what's happening in you in
mm,
response to this situation.
And it's a really good point. If you feel like, oh yeah, I stepped up to the plate and I took care of that, you need to look at that as well. There
mm,
can't be any kind of, patting on the shoulder or any kind of ooh, because that comes from something inauthentic.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, this situation with the group was actually like very healing for me, because usually the reaction I got when I spoke is like exclusion. This was a group of environmental activists, and the leader asked for who disagrees. The majority, 58 people, were like in one direction, and 2 people, me and another person, were in another direction. And so she asked me to speak, and when I spoke, the group changed their direction.
Oh, wow.
Based on the way I expressed myself.
No.
But it was, I don't believe in being the savior. I used to like to rescue, and that was like my fun job, but it's very draining. And I also have a little theory about people pleasing and women. I'm perimenopausal. I think estrogen makes you more pleasy.
Yes.
And I think you just don't give as many bleeps, as you age. And I think that's very freeing for women, but also that maybe that's how babies are kept alive, because we please and we look after and blah blah blah. Thank you, and I'll try and investigate my reactions, which is going to be very exhausting.
No, it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. It can be like wonderful and experiential, and it can be amazing. I'm looking forward to hearing it, Cleona.
Me too.
Okay, it's getting there. It's getting there.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Seeing you.